What's going on, everyone? How you doing today? It's Angry Roleplayer once again, and today I want to show you, I think it's the third Immortal King build, which is the Immortal King's Whirlwind build. Yeah, you must be asking yourself, what? You can run Whirlwind with the Immortal King? Yeah, it's actually quite old build. It was there ages ago and is still viable, and since Immortal Kings was buffed on the PTR, I was very curious how much of damage the Whirlwind setup gained, and to be honest, it gained quite a bit of damage, not only because the Immortal Kings has been buffed, but also because the Bul-Kathos has been buffed, and also their Whirlwind Ring has been buffed, so it got quite a bit of damage, around 10 plus Great Rift, and I cleared Great Rift 95 with this, and it was pretty solid Rift, so it's around 5 to 10 rifts lower than the Waste set. But if you don't have the Waste set, you can absolutely play Immortal King's Whirlwind and be pretty much very viable. Farm fast, Torment 13 is just a breeze. It's plenty of toughness, you need to worry about cooldown, so it's very good. So first of all, what's the main difference between the classic Wrath of the Waste set and the Immortal King's Whirlwind? First of all, the Immortal King's Whirlwind does much less damage than the Waste set, around 50% less I would say, and that results in around 5 to 10 Great Rifts out there. But there are many advantages as well. First of all, you don't need to worry about cooldown, so you don't need to stake cooldown reduction on your gear, simply because the set itself manages all the cooldowns. When you spend Fury, it cools down the Wrath of the Berserker and Call of the Ancients, so it's pretty solid. Overall, the toughness is also pretty damn good, even though the set itself doesn't really have toughness, unlike the Wrath of the Waste set. So it's squishier than the Wrath of the Waste set, but you can stack plenty of defensive options, and you can get Mantle of Channeling, Achilles Cuirass in the cube, and all other shit. And it has permanent uptime of the Wrath of the Berserker as well, so it's all pretty damn good. Now, I would just go a bit ahead and tell that there's two ways possible to play this build, also just as the ref said. You can play with the Bul-Kathos swords and with the Istvan's Pearl Blades, and it's just very recently that the Bul-Kathos sword has been buffed, and it's now rolls with a 45% increased attack speed and movement speed, and the Fury generation has been buffed and now rolls with up to 15 Fury generation. So another thing that have changed is that you can actually now drop the necessary weapon master for the future generation and just go with blank, all guns blazing passives here with the Bul-Kathos swords. And overall, there's also the huge difference between the Bul-Kathos in general and the Istvan's, is because Bul-Kathos attack speed is multiplicative, while the Istvan's attack speed is additive. However, Istvan's blades have multiplicative damage there, and overall these two setups with the Istvan's blades and the Bul-Kathos are almost identical now in terms of damage, I would say. However, with the Bul-Kathos blades, you just manage your cooldown so much faster because you do tremendous stacking of attack speed, and this attack speed goes directly towards faster stacking of the cooldowns on the Wrath of the Berserker and all this shit, and you better get cooldowns is much faster with the Bul-Kathos. Also, with Bul-Kathos swords, you gain 25% more damage reduction because you can run both Mantle of Channeling and Achilles Cuirass in the cube. With the Istvan's Pearl Blades, you have to run Fury of the Ancients Shoulders either in the cube or wear them, because it's mandatory to get Fury through the Ancient Fury rune on the Call of the Ancients. This is the only way you can get Fury on the Istvan's Pearl Blade setup. Overall, like I said, between these two, Bul-Kathos and Istvan's, right now I think that Bul-Kathos is really ahead, simply because it's easier, the damage is almost identical, and the toughness is just more better, as well as Fury generation is much better now with this Fury generation there. That's a YouTube subscriber out there. Thank you. So, what stats do we need for this? First of all, the helm is Strength, Hit Chance, and Whirlwind. Disregard this Hammer of the Ancients damage here, it's not important. This is from my older build. So, Strength, Hit Chance, and whirlwind damage here. On the chest is strength with life, shoulders, basically the mantle of channeling, strength with all res, and area damage is the only thing you need here. The gloves are strength with hit damage and chance, but the perfect one should be strength, area damage, hit damage and chance. The pants are strength with all res, the boots are strength with all res and whirlwind damage. The belt is strength with all res and life per fury spent. Also, it will be very good to have some really good secondary to help you survive the shit, like chance to freeze as well. The rings are focus and restrain, and they should have identical stats like hit damage, hit chance, and area damage. Hit damage, hit chance, and area damage. Also, it's very cool to have attack speed here instead of area damage, but area damage comes first because this is what you need to kill elites faster and faster. As the amulet, we have Hellfire Amulet, and the perfect one, which should be physical, hit damage and chance. The braces are physical, hit damage and strength with and chance as well. The swords are Bul-Kathos, Warrior Blood, and Solemn Vow, and the stats should be just attack speed and area damage. I also recommend to get 1 life on hit on one of the swords, and on the second one just go area damage and attack speed. Basically attack speed and area damage is all you need in this build. Legendary gems are Being on the Stricken to kill the Rift Guardian, stack as much Stricken as possible. Taeguk for toughness and damage, as well as the Pain Enhancer. It just massively buffs your ticks for the whirlwind damage. This is very important. Sorry guys. So have you seen that error, guys? This is how you play fucking PTR. So anyway, let's get back to it. The normal gems are the Amethyst and the Helm. You don't need any kind of cooldown reduction, just go fucking life and resistances. The other gems are diamonds, Succinus, rubies if you wish, but I prefer diamonds just to stack more toughness. The cube has furnace, elite damage, Achilles cuirass, toughness, damage reduction, skull grass. This is the new buffed one. It rolls now up to 400% increase whirlwind damage. That's it. On left button is Whirlwind, Dust Devils. This is the only rune you need. This is physical and it does the most. After all of this, you have to go physical with the Immortal Kings. On the right button is Bash, Punish, and be sure to proc this as much as possible, because it increases your damage by 4% for 5 seconds, and this stacks up to 3 times, so this potential 12 more damage, and this also procs for focus and restraint passives as well. Battle Rage, Sword of the Plowshares, it is very important, and this is basically our source of healing as well. Threatening Shout Filter, you can go different things here, like Threatening Shout Demoralize as well. For example, yeah, Threatening Shout Demoralize is very good. You can also go War Cry, Veterans Warning for, what the fuck is it? Sorry, I scrolled it back. So you can go War Cry, either Veterans Warning or Impunity if you feel like you just need more toughness, which is like instant, when you don't need to apply the debuff for the mobs. But I prefer Threatening Shout Filter just for mod damage. This is pretty good. Another one is Call of the Ancients Together's one. This is our another source of damage reduction. On this in very high rifts, 95 plus and 100 plus, you just need fuck ton of damage reduction as much as possible to survive the incoming hits. Breath of the Berserker Insanity, keep in mind that to make 6-piece work on the Immortal Kings, you need to have Breath of the Berserker and Call of the Ancients up and active all the fucking time, otherwise you simply do no damage. So these two must have 100% uptime, or an uptime as much as possible to do damage for the build. The passives are Ruthless here on the Hellfire Armor. This is like the mandatory passive here. And the 3 others are Rampage, Berserker Rage, and Brawler. You can also go Knobs of Steel as the 5th passive, or if you have Ruthless, for example, if you don't have Ruthless on your Hellfire Amulet, just go Ruthless here and drop Brawler. So especially if you feel you're squishy, dying too much, leave fucking Brawler and go Nerves of Steel, Ruthless, Berserker Rage, and Rampage. This is it. And like I said, this build is quite solid, and if you will not be able to get your Breath of the Way set pretty fast in the seasons, you can get and play Whirlwind with Immortal Kings without absolutely no big deal and no problems there as well. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Fucking arrow again, guys. Fucking arrow again. What the fuck?